What a week and what a mess. Australian basketball in a state of confusion as one of our leading players sits out the game of the year. All the controversy and drama is coming up. Andrew Gaze meets up with new Tigers in Port Jarvis Lang. Aaron Trahair, the new king on the block. All the highlights from week 3 of both the Mitsubishi Challenge and the WNBL. And as always, all the news, reviews and plays of the week in Showtime. This is basketball at its best. You're watching Airtime. Hello, I'm Matthew White and welcome to Airtime in another week of controversy in the NBL. Today, we'll examine the Mark Bradkey case. Why was one of Australia's leading players stopped from playing in the Mitsubishi Challenge? We'll also check in with the Sydney Kings' new point guard, Aaron Trahair, and we'll have a stack of fun along the way as well. But first, let's get the news of the week from Billy Fisher with Inside Basketball.
What a dramatic week. Mark Bradkey ruled ineligible for the grand final replay. Despite playing the night before, the MVP no less, Bradkey was told he couldn't play against the Magic because his clearance hadn't come through from the NBA.
I've been sitting over there all this time waiting to play. I think I'll finally get back to Australia, be able to go and play, and last night was fantastic, having a win and playing well, and I was looking forward to the game so much tonight, and have this happen a couple hours beforehand is devastating, and I can't explain it, and I know everyone's in the locker room shaking their heads. We just don't know what's going on.
We'll investigate the whole sorry affair later in today's show. Another shock. The Brisbane Bullets have cut one of their imports. Leonard White sent packing after the loss to Townsville. The Bullets are still looking for a replacement. And Aaron Trahair has been sacked as captain of the Australian under-23 team. A team vote was taken. The new skipper, Sam McKinnon.
Sam McKinnon.
Trahair, who led virtually the same lineup to a silver medal at the World Junior titles, will be the vice-captain. Meantime, the under-23s begin their warm-up later this month for the World titles in Melbourne. McKinnon leading his young Chargers against Arizona. Southeast Melbourne is taking its Magic show on the road this weekend. They've given up a home game at the National Tennis Centre and will host the Illawarra Hawks tonight in Sydney's western suburbs. That's right, the Magic and the Hawks will meet at the Whitlam Centre in Liverpool, home of the NBL wannabes, the West Sydney Slammers.
We're bringing up the Magic, we're bringing up their cheer girls, we're bringing up the Magic Man. The whole show's coming on the road, so it's a chance for us, I think, to show our administration skills also, that we can handle these events, put on these events, and again show that by the media coverage we've got, and also by the attendance, that people out here do want NBL basketball and they want it live.
Cadiz says the Magic approached them and hints there might be an ulterior motive.
There's been some speculation about that they might come here and think that, well, we'll move to Sydney or relocate our licence to Sydney. Why they would do that, I don't know. If they wanted to relocate up here, maybe we'd be happy to have a talk to them and get involved with us and do it all together.
And another WNBL player joins the 300 club tonight. Robin Ma hits the triple ton, and what a career. Highlighted, of course, by last year's bronze medal at the Atlanta Olympics. And Robin will be back on the international stage in a fortnight. The Opal Series against Russia tipping off in Adelaide. Then heading to Sydney, Wollongong, Bendigo and Melbourne.
Well, there you have it, a big week of big news in basketball. And as I said, we'll have more on the Mark Bradkey issue right after the break. While I enjoy the sunshine of a magic Sydney day, let's enjoy a magic moment on Airtime.
Fisher, there he is. 7 seconds left. Fisher under pressure. A foul will do them. Fisher misses. Bailey the rebound and gets it in. That's the ball game. The North Melbourne Giants have stolen the game.
It's the mother of all insults.
Hey, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
Now for the perfect comeback.
Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you.
Well, almost.
What's the difference? You're their all-time bestseller.
Seinfeld, 8 o'clock Sunday on 10.
I felt trapped in my old home, but look at me now, happy, independent, and I own my own brand new home, with money left over from the sale of our old home.
Now that Jim is gone, I would have felt safe and secure. My own home and peace of mind.
My friends can't believe it. All this for under $80,000.
Do it today. Call 9629 1500 and we'll send you a brochure about the lifestyle at Parklea Garden Village.
Introducing the great new range of Holden Rodeos. Reliable and tough as ever. We've worked hard on your comfort.
Let's work. Time to get things moving. Let's work. 'Cause you know.
Look for the new petrol and turbo diesel Rodeos at your Holden dealer now.
Let's work this Holden Rodeo. Let's work.
Check out Joyce's brand new catalogue. Save on fridges, washers, lounges, TVs, bedding, VCRs, wall units and more. Plus you pay nothing till 1998. That's no deposit, no interest, no repayments till next year. Better be quick, grab a catalogue from any Joyce main store now.
Is this you? Well, it's time to stop pretending. Throw down that tennis racket and try a real guitar. Bass guitar. Enroll at the Bass Institute, Parramatta Road, Annandale. All levels, all ages.
I believe, Raymond, that Rams offers free insurance from QBE and Citicorp Life.
Yep.
Free life insurance?
Yep.
Free home insurance?
Yep.
In fact, Raymond, the Rams Better Home Loan gives you 1 year's free insurance and you can have a Rams Visa card too?
Yep.
So I guess that makes it an even better home loan.
Yep.
I see, yep. Rams Home Loans, 1800 069 070. You will do better at Rams.
Well, you got that right, Bruce.
Yep, I thought so.
Welcome back to Airtime. Our cover story this week is on Mark Bradke and an issue that's raised questions from the NBA, the NBL, Basketball Australia right through to the Melbourne Tigers. Why was one of Australia's leading players forced to sit on the bench for the biggest game of the season so far? Bill Fisher investigates.
Spots up. Bradke the rebound.
The big man was back and ready to play, and he tore the heart out of the 36ers.
Bradke's come back as a guard.
Mark Bradke was a frustrated basketballer when he returned from the NBA. All he wanted to do was play.
That's a tough shot.
31 points and 18 rebounds. Now that's some game. Not bad for a guy who had doubts about how he'd shape up.
So it's going to take me a while, and I really don't know how I'm going to come back. I haven't played 20 minutes in a row, let alone 40 or 48 minutes in a row. So, hopefully in a month or so I'll be where I want to be. But whether that's better or worse than last year, I'm not quite sure.
So the scene was set for a classic showdown in the grand final replay against the Magic. But then, disaster. Bradke forced to sit on the bench. Inexplicably, his clearance hadn't come through from the NBA, and the Tigers centre was fuming.
I'd really like to know. Apparently, Basketball Australia and the NBL told us a couple hours ago that I didn't have a clearance from the NBA, and I really think they should have told us yesterday morning if something was going wrong. But to tell us 2 hours before the biggest game of the year, I don't know where their agenda is really.
Initially, Basketball Australia wore all the blame.
Well, that's fairly normal.
Unfair?
Well, in this case, I think it is, because I think we've done everything that we are required to do and a lot more.
To understand how it happened, you've got to understand how the system works, and it doesn't work too well. Normally, international clearances go through the respective national bodies. When Mark came back from Spain, the Spanish and Australian Basketball Associations did the deal. But with the NBA, it works differently. They completely ignore the USA Basketball Association and they go through a third party, that party being the international body, FIBA.
We've been aware of this situation because both Mark and Shane had to go through the reverse process in going to the NBA. So we were quite aware of the situation.
That was explained to Bradke, but like the rest of us, he still struggles to understand how he could play one night and not the next.
The issue of being not eligible or having clearances, I don't think that's not a problem with the Tigers or myself. It's just been told, you know, after we've already played one game that it hadn't come through.
BA President Dick Butler says it was made clear to the Tigers 2 days prior to the Adelaide game that the club clearance from Philadelphia wasn't enough.
As far as we were concerned, we had notified Melbourne that there was still to be received an international clearance from FIBA, or from the NBA through FIBA, and that we would advise them when that came through. It hasn't come through.
When did you tell them that?
I believe that was on Wednesday the 22nd.
So I get this right, you told them on the Wednesday, before the Friday game, that you would let them know, Basketball Australia would let them know when the clearance came through.
Right.
And Butler gets support from the NBL Chief Executive, Bill Palmer.
But I understand that they were aware that he hadn't been cleared Wednesday prior to the game, and that there was another step that was necessary that had to be cleared from the NBA.
So if you accept BA's story, then the Tigers knew, and they took a risk in playing Mark Bradke against Adelaide. But Dick Butler does concede there might have been a misunderstanding.
Our assumption was that they understood that they would receive a clearance when it came through. Their understanding, obviously, was one that we would advise them if it did not come through.
And what about the issue of points from that win over Adelaide? From the NBL's point of view, the Tigers had to be certain before playing Bradke that he was cleared.
Quite clearly, it's the club's responsibility to make sure their players are cleared. In this case, they needed to get international clearance.
I believe that the club didn't know that I wasn't allowed to play, and when we did find out, you know, I didn't play the next game. So I can't see the club being in breach of anything wrong, because I didn't know that I didn't have a clearance, you know.
As we go to air, there's still been no decision on whether the Tigers keep their points. Also, no satisfactory explanation on how it all happened. One thing is for certain, though, basketball's image has taken a dive.
Still ahead on today's show, new Tigers import Jarvis Lang takes on Gruey's dribble. Young gun Aaron Trahair, the new king on the throne.
Trahair makes it! Trahair makes it with 2.9 seconds left.
But next, action from round 3 in Hoops Highlights.
Well, I'm just out of school, like I'm real cool. Gotta dance like a fool, got the message.
To most Australians, the Falcon Utas always carry the day. Now it also carries Ford's 3-year, 100,000 kilometre bumper-to-bumper warranty. And of course it still carries more weight than any other ute in its class. Stay. Falcon Long Reach. Built, Ford, tough.
Check out Joyce's brand new catalogue. Save on fridges, washers, lounges, TVs, bedding, VCRs, wall units and more. Plus you pay nothing till 1998. That's no deposit, no interest, no repayments till next year. Better be quick, grab a catalogue from any Joyce main store now.
Pick on someone your own size.
The Star Wars trilogy is back on the big screen, and it's even better with a Pepsi.
Great effects, man.
Yeah.
Does your neck and back ache? Does your body feel tired and sore? Introducing the Back Reliever from KTEL. Comes with 5 massaging motors. Targets your neck, shoulders, lower back, thighs and buttocks. The 5 massaging motors are designed to work just like the hands of 5 professional masseurs. Dual controls allow you to choose a slow, gentle massage for relaxation or a fast, intense massage for revitalized energy. Even activate for just a lower back massage. The Back Reliever works almost anywhere, when reading, watching TV or simply relaxing. Turn any surface into your personal massage centre in only seconds. Laying down to rest never felt so good. Comes with adapter for your lighter, a must for your car or truck. The Back Reliever from KTEL, complete with adapters, only $89.95. Only from these leading retailers.
My cap rack from Montel holds up to 20 caps. That means we should be able to keep our room tidy, huh, guys?
What a great idea, Dad!
My Cap Rack from Ontel, only $19.95 from these leading retailers.
Over 2 hours of fully mixed music. Big Mix 1. 27 exclusive club mixes on 2 CDs. Like to dance? The big beats are on this. Come alive with Big Mix 1.
This is airtime, and now it's time to blow away those boardroom dramas and get on to what's been happening on the court in week 4 of the NBL. That means it's time for Hoops Highlights.
We open up Hoops Highlights at Melbourne Park, the Tigers and the 36ers. Mark Bradkey's return was the talk of the league, and the big man wasted no time getting involved.
Lob pass, it's a good start.
Gaze did it again soon after, this time finding Copeland.
Alley-oop to Copeland! What a great pass that was. That was centimetre perfect.
Then a major blow for Adelaide, Trimmingham coming down awkwardly on his ankle. He left the court and didn't return. Bradkey continued to dominate, 18 rebounds and 31 points.
Bradkey, sensational rebound. That is fantastic.
But the 36ers came back at them. John Riley driving all the way to the hoop for the layup, and we had a 1-point ball game.
Oh, Riley makes the hoop, doesn't get the foul. What a basket by John Riley.
The Tigers hit a couple of late threes to run out 5-point winners. The Tigers' big three leading the way, the 36ers had 5 players in double figures, but missed Trimmingham. Bradkey, a clear MVP. The Tigers then backed up for the grand final replay, but without Bradkey. Initially, the Tigers did okay, staying with the Magic in the first quarter.
That is a tough move by Jarvis landing, so he's happy about it.
In the second quarter, the Magic started to pull away. Chris Anstey and John George dominating in the paint. Andrew Gaze was kept to just 7 points in the first half, but the surprise performer was Blair Smith. 13 rebounds as the Tigers won the boards 50-49.
To Blair Smith, back to a 1-point ball game.
Again, the Magic had their chances, getting out to a 6-point lead, but the Tigers just refused to die. Gaze and Gordon hitting clutch 3-pointers.
Gordon for 3. This will tie it up. Makes it. At Melbourne Park.
As the clock wound down, the Magic pounded away, but couldn't sink the match-winning basket.
Gaze from half court. Misses. Almost made it, and we're into overtime.
The Tigers completed a fairy tale comeback to win a thriller and get some payback for the grand final loss.
7 seconds left in overtime. Magic need to score, otherwise the Tigers will pinch it. A 2-pointer and win it. It's going to go up. Talbot, the money man on the drive, misses. Anstey misses. The Tigers have won it. The Tigers have stolen the game. One of their best victories in the history of their club. Without Mark Bradkey, have a look at the Tigers.
Despite the offensive power in both sides, it was a low-scoring game. Lang leading all scorers, John George getting the MVP. The Suns and the Bullets did battle in the Queensland Derby. The Suns leading virtually all night. Clarence Tyson dominating the boards, Rucker making the most of it. Leroy Loggins was the standout for Brisbane. This passage of play showing why. The steal, 1 on 3 for the layup, on his way to 39 points. But the Bullets had no answer for Tyson on the boards. 21 rebounds from the Suns centre, while Rucker hit 32 points. The Suns home by 8, 6 players in double figures, and despite Tyson's dominance on the paint, the MVP went to Rucker. The Suns went back home on a high, ready for the Kings. This time, Simon Curl was the man to step up for Townsville.
Scraps Curl for 3. It's sweet. And the wild thing finds range early.
Curl led the Suns scoring with 33 points, hitting 5 3-pointers. Grant Kruger hit 13 in the first half as the Kings' defence fell apart.
He's just making this his game.
Bruce Bolden did his best to get the Kings back into the game, and Burton, who'd been well held all night, made the margin just 5 with his 3 in the face of Rucker.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. Isaac Burton.
The Suns stayed composed though. Jason Cameron with the one-hand putback to get his side home. Townsville with the best ever start to a season, winning by 6. Simon Curl the standout. At home at the Kingdome, Sydney hosted the Perth Wildcats. The Kings, chasing their first win of the season, opened up with a 31-point first quarter. Isaac Burton playing a great defensive game against Ricky Grace and hitting 18 points for the game.
Oh, the pass was right on the money. And
The points dried up in the second quarter for Sydney as Andrew Vlahov got involved, and we had a tied ball game at half-time. But when Cameron Dickinson hit his straps with a 15-point third quarter, the Kings looked better than they had all season. Dickinson virtually unstoppable.
this is Dickinson. It's been hot. Yes, he comes up with 3 more.
It was basket for basket in the final quarter. In the end, the only difference was Aaron Trahair, the former Perth boy, hitting the winner.
Trahair makes it. Trahair makes it with 2.9 seconds left on the clock.
The Kings, home by 5, conceding only 14 turnovers, their best effort this season. Andrew Vlahov, the MVP. The Wildcats ended their 10-day stay on the East Coast in Newcastle. And what a huge start. Perth against a fired-up Falcon.
The price. No fiddling around here, though.
Melmoth was in a zone at the start. A sensational pass from Jensen, setting up another dunk. Jensen then lit up from the three-point line.
Jensen 3 out of 3.
The Wildcats found their straps in the final quarter. Greg Brown hitting the 3. And Anthony Stewart from way downtown.
Stewart lets one rip. Oh, unbelievable. He shot that from his hip. Slingshot.
And with Van Dyke hitting 29 points and 12 rebounds against his old club, the Wildcats pulled away for an easy win. Van Dyke, Lichty and Stewart excelling for Perth. Van Dyke the best of them. The Hawks hosted the Cannons at the Snake Pit. Robert Rose and Mario Donaldson with sheer class, proving too hot to handle. Rose feeding Dwight. Donaldson was just as impressive as he enjoys a very successful return to the NBL. Brian Edwards kept the Hawks in the hunt, mainly from the three-point line.
10 hits, nice play, Illawarra, that brings the crowd back into it.
Troy Pillen stepped up for the Cannons though, a buzzer beater fadeaway at half-time. And then, on the receiving end of Dwight's outlet, as the Cannons cruise to a 19-point win.
To Pillen, he'll go all the way. Oh, slam it home.
Rose and Donaldson the leading scorers, but Pillen's points came at a crucial stage, giving him the MVP. So the ladder, after week 3, sees the Giants still on top, the Suns holding down second spot, just ahead of the Cannons, with the Magic, Wildcats and Tigers close behind. In the bottom half, some teams who expected to be higher, the Bullets and the Kings in particular. And now for our weekly awards, our Hoopless highlights. The Hoomie Award goes to the Suns' Grant Kruger, stunned when called for the foul. Who, me? The shoulder charge of the week goes to Canberra's Mario Donaldson. Nice when you get away with it, Mario. And we've saved the best to last. And it goes to our referees at the Tigers 36 match. Or should we say, what referee?
Well, this is tremendous. We've got no referees. And I tell you what, I reckon that's a good thing.
Mal Cooper, Eddie Crouch and Andrew O'Sullivan. You're the pick of them, boys. You're the pick of our Hoopless highlights.
Thought I'd be up there, didn't you? Those type of dizzy heights are reserved for our next segment. The big man of Australian basketball withdrew his dribble. And this week, Andrew Gaze catches up with the new Tiger, Jarvis Lang.
Drew his dribble? Come on, Matt. That's not very nice. But here we are in the centre of Melbourne on a beautiful sunny day. And this year, the Melbourne Tigers have a new import, Jarvis Lang. Now, Jarvis, well, he's played just about everywhere. Matter of fact, I don't know a country where Jarvis hasn't played in. And what's he doing on his day off? Oh. What's this?
That is a tough move by Jarvis Lang.
Actually, it originated when I played in Venezuela. It's sort of an emotional thing. I mean, when I get the intensity depends on the emotion. The harder I hit myself, you know. But also, I do it when I'm not doing as well, and that's when I really punish myself. So it's basically an intensity thing.
Lang, great offensive rebound. Jarvis Lang.
What's your long-term ambitions? Do you still harboring ambitions of maybe one day trying to get back in the NBA, or just content with playing on the international scene?
Right now I'm content. It's always been a dream of mine to play in the NBA, but like I tell people, some people are made for the NBA, some people aren't. I mean, there's some things that the NBA want and some things that they don't. And obviously they haven't found, what I could do. So, I mean, right now, if I could stay in Australia until my career is finished, I'd be happy because it's a place where I feel comfortable.
Jarvis Lang nails the first. Bit of a walk away. Touches the forehead, back to the line. Obviously a superstition of some sort.
What about coming here to Australia now? What's been your impressions of living here for starters?
Oh, I knew it would be great because I played in Venezuela. I played with Adonis Jordan, who played with the Magic a few years ago, and he kind of schooled me on how it would be to living. I mean, I didn't really take his word for it, but by coming here, I mean, I love it here. I mean, of all the places I played on my professional level, this is the place that, I could really say that I enjoy being. Before the games, I usually sit back home or wherever I'm at with the headphones on or just the radio on or riding through to the game in the car. I like to listen to some reggae because it's just like relaxing, especially the Bob Marley, and you have Still Pulse. I mean, it's various groups.
Can you give us a list of the teams from, say, high school up and where you played?
In high school, I played at Farmville Central High School, and I went to the University of North Carolina in Charlotte. I'm a 49er fan for life. Go 49ers. I had a few trial NBA teams with the Boston Celtics and the San Antonio Spurs. So I went to Italy. I had a very successful season there, although the team wasn't as good. And after Italy, they wanted me to come back, but I wanted to venture out. I've just been around CBA in Wisconsin, that's in the United States, cold, very cold place. I never want to go there again. I wanted to go back to Italy. They phoned me, they wanted